Welcome to Bob's Carving Hobby, where I'll guide you step by step through transforming a scrap piece of hardwood into a beautiful lifelike feather. This is a great way to practice carving skills and make use of leftover wood from other projects. Let's get started. First, I begin by selecting a piece of reclaimed hardwood. I love using reclaimed wood for projects like this because it's sustainable and each piece has its own unique character. I make sure the wood is clean and free of nails or debris before moving on. With my wood ready, I take a pencil and carefully draw the outline of a feather directly onto the face of the wood. I pay attention to the natural grain, letting it guide the flow of the feather's shape. This helps give the finished piece a more organic look. Once I'm happy with the outline, I move over to the scroll saw and carefully cut out the shape of the feather, following my pencil lines as closely as possible. The scroll saw is perfect for this step because it allows for precise, intricate cuts, especially for the gentle curves and the tip of the feather. After cutting out the basic shape, it's time to add some dimension. I grab a gouge chisel and start carving out the areas where I want the feather to appear wavy and natural. I use gentle, controlled strokes, always carving away from my body and keeping my hands behind the blade for safety. This step starts the shaping process and brings the feather to life, adding depth and movement to the piece. Next, I switch to a rotary tool fitted with a small sanding drum. This tool allows me to refine the feather's edge shape on both sides, smoothing out the edges and tapering the ends. A quick tip on rotary tools. The most recognized is Dremel, but there are numerous tool companies that make these rotary wonders. This tip is for the power. You can find corded and battery-powered tools. They both have their place. However, I prefer a corded tool that won't run out of power partway through the job. You can buy extra batteries, but that means extra costs and they need to be charged. Personally, I prefer a plug-and-play. I work slowly, checking the symmetry and balance as I go. The goal here is to create a delicate, realistic form that feels light and airy, just like a real feather. As you can see, we still have a way to go. With the shaping complete, I move on to sanding. I start with 80 grit sandpaper to remove any rough spots and tool marks. Then I progress to 120 grit and finally 220, working my way up to a silky smooth surface. Sanding is one of my favorite parts of woodworking. It's where the piece really starts to shine. I make sure to sand along the grain and pay extra attention to the edges and curves. Now comes the detail work. Using a wood burning tool, I carefully burn in the lines that mimic the barbs and shaft of a real feather. I do this on both sides, varying the pressure and angle to create a natural textured effect. This step requires patience and a steady hand, but it's incredibly rewarding to see the feather's details emerge. Once the wood burning is done, I give the feather another good sanding, enough to soften any harsh lines and blend the details. I keep checking the piece until I'm completely satisfied with the look and feel. The final step is finishing. Depending on the look I want, I might use a clear lacquer for a glossy finish, a natural oil to enhance the wood's grains, or a soft wax for a supple sheen. I apply the finish evenly, let it dry, and then buff it out to a smooth, touchable surface. And there you have it. From a simple scrap of hardwood, we've created a beautiful, realistic feather that's perfect as a decorative accent. Give it away as a friendship feather, a gift, or even a unique piece of art. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like and subscribe and share your own creations in the comments below. Your help is greatly appreciated. Thanks for joining me on this project. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is Bob Jones, and I will see you in the next video.